The Canon L series 16 to 35mm. Is this the best choice of Canon lenses for filmmakers? Released in 2014, this ultra-wide zoom lens with image stabilization is sold new today for around £750 to £1,000, which may seem quite steep for a lens that's 4 years old. It's a constant f4 aperture lens with a minimum focus distance of 28 centimeters. It has a huge 77mm front element, and on an EF mount that can at times look almost gigantic, especially if you're using a small DSLR like a 70D or a 6D Mark II. It really is a whopper of a wide angle lens. So let's get straight to it. Let's look at the good bits of the 16 to 35 L series. And straight out the box, its build quality is superb. It is really a weighty bit of glass. You know when you've got it in your hand. In fact, some of the camera bodies that we use it on are actually lighter than the lens itself. So you actually do have to bear that in mind when you're tripod mounting it. But all in all, when you have this lens in hand, it feels every penny of that £1,000 price point. Optically, it is absolutely beautiful. It's exactly what you expect from the optics of an L series lens. It is sharp edge to edge, right through that focal length. It's hard to beat the optics that you get from this lens. The 9-blade circular aperture that it does have gives absolutely beautifully uniform bokeh. So when things are out of focus behind your subject, it really gives a beautiful, creamy look to it. And the best feature that this lens does have is the image stabilization. For a 16 to 35, it's going to be shooting things that are close to it. It is a wide angle lens. So really, for mobile filmmakers such as ourselves, maybe even people that are filming in a selfie style, that image stabilization is paramount, and it really is rock solid. It will smooth out even the roughest of shakes and enable to match that optic brilliance that it does have with a smooth, flat image. So, let's look at the bad bits of the 16 to 35. The first thing that I noticed when we started using this lens was how loud the autofocus was. Now, Canon claim the USM is a nearly silent autofocus, but anyone that uses the L series lens for video will know that it's not. If you have an on-body microphone on your camera, or if you're using the in-body microphone, you'll definitely pick it up if you have autofocus on. So that means you're relying on either lapel mics or just not using the sound from the camera at all, or alternatively, leaving the focus in manual. It being a ultra wide f4, this isn't a bokeh beast. This isn't the kind of lens that you get out to get those beautiful B-roll shots. It's not an 85mm, but that's not why you buy a 16 to 35. You buy it to get an optically brilliant shot that's close to the camera. Its price. It has to be said in the bad features of it, it is a very expensive bit of glass. This isn't for first timers, this isn't an entry point lens. This is £1,000 to stick on the front of your Canon camera. So do bear that in mind. The upside of that is you get to join the elusive club of the Red Ring, which isn't actually a club, is it? I'm still waiting for my membership card anyway.
You've just started it.
If you want to join my Red Ring, no, that sounds bad, my Red Ring Club. If you're in the market for a new video lens and you want the best that Canon has to offer for a multi-purpose, multi-function L series lens, then this is the one to go for. It is £1,000, it is expensive, the autofocus is loud, but the optics, the picture is just beautiful. So really, that outweighs all the bad points in my opinion anyway. You buy it to get a beautiful image, and that is what this lens does. So if you're looking for an ultra wide zoom lens for video, then the Canon 16 to 35 L series is definitely one to look for. Make sure it's the f4 with image stabilization. If you get the one without stabilization, which does exist, then you're gonna miss one of the best features of this bit of glass. So that's been my grab and go review of the Canon L series 16 to 35. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.